Imperialism in Africa, a story of power, greed, and resistance. Before the flags of Europe were planted on African soil, Africa was not empty, silent, or backward. The continent was alive with powerful kingdoms, ancient trade routes, and rich cultures. From the Oyo Empire and Benin Kingdom in West Africa to the Ashanti, Ethiopia, and the warrior nation of the Zulu, African societies governed themselves, traded across deserts and oceans, and preserved deep traditions passed down through generations. When Europeans first arrived on African shores, they did not come as rulers. They came as traders, exchanging cloth, metal goods, and firearms for gold, ivory, palm oil, and spices. For centuries, this relationship remained largely commercial. But by the late 19th century, everything changed. As Europe entered the age of factories and machines, its hunger grew. Industries demanded raw materials, investors demanded profits, and governments demanded power. Africa, rich in natural resources, became the target. Between 1880 and 1914, European nations rushed aggressively to claim African land in what became known as the Scramble for Africa. This was not a peaceful scramble, it was conquest. Europeans justified their invasion with many reasons, but behind them all was control. They needed Africa's rubber, cocoa, gold, palm oil, and minerals to feed their factories. They wanted new markets to sell their finished goods. Politically, nations like Britain, France, and Germany competed fiercely. The more land you controlled, the more powerful you appeared. Some claimed they came to civilize Africa, to spread Christianity and Western education. But this belief was built on the idea of European superiority, an idea that ignored Africa's long history of civilization. Technology made conquest easier. With the Maxim gun, European armies could defeat thousands. Steamships and railways allowed deep penetration into the interior. And quinine reduced deaths from malaria, removing one of Africa's greatest natural defenses. Africa divided like a map. In 1884, European leaders met in Berlin, Germany, under Otto von Bismarck. Not a single African was invited. In rooms far from African soil, they drew lines on maps, dividing the continent among themselves. They ignored ethnic groups, kingdoms, languages, and cultures. A single line could split one people into different countries, a wound Africa still carries today. Britain took territories like Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa. France spread across Senegal, Mali, Ivory Coast, and Algeria. Germany claimed Togo, Cameroon, and Namibia. Belgium seized the Congo, turning it into the personal property of King Leopold II, where millions died from forced labor. Portugal held Angola and Mozambique, while Italy controlled Libya and parts of the Horn of Africa. Some colonies were ruled directly, with European officials in charge. Others were ruled indirectly, using African kings and chiefs as tools under colonial authority. Treaties were often signed through deception, force, or misunderstanding. Resistance was met with violence. Imperialism brought railways, roads, schools, and new systems of administration, but these were designed mainly to serve colonial interests. The damage was far greater. Africa lost its sovereignty. Its people were forced into hard labor. Traditional systems were weakened or destroyed. Artificial borders fueled ethnic conflicts. African economies were reshaped to serve Europe, creating long-term dependency. Racism and cultural suppression scarred generations. Africa fought back. But Africa did not submit quietly. In 1896, Ethiopia defeated Italy at the Battle of Adwa, shocking Europe. Samori Touré fought the French for years. The Maji Maji Rebellion rose against German brutality. In Nigeria, the Benin Kingdom resisted, leading to the 1897 British invasion.